सबसे पहले सब्सक्राइब, लाइक एंड प्रेस आइकन बटन एंड प्लीज डू शेयर।
हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू आवर चैनल एंड दैट इज बिंदास एजुकेटर। बच्चे, आज जैसा आपने थंबनेल में देखा, आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे आरएमएस वेलोसिटी और जितनी भी और रिलेटेड वेलोसिटीज होती हैं उनका कंसेप्ट, एंड देन वी विल स्टडी अबाउट द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर्व, स्पीड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर्व। बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है और इनके ऊपर बेस्ड क्वेश्चन डेफिनेटली आता ही आता है, चाहे कोई भी एग्जाम हो, चाहे वो आपके बोर्ड्स एग्जाम हो या फिर आपका नीट हो या जेईई हो, सब में इन टॉपिक से रिलेटेड जरूर एक क्वेश्चन तो जरूर टपकेगा। ठीक है, सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। वीडियो एंड तक जरूर देखना, लाइक करना और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलना। चलिए बच्चों, स्टार्ट करते हैं स्पीड ऑफ गैस मॉलिक्यूल। चलिए बच्चों, सबसे पहले जो स्पीड आती है वो होती है मेन स्पीड। देखिए बच्चों, एक्चुअल में ये अलग अलग टाइप की स्पीड कैसे हो गई। बच्चे, एक्चुअल में मान लीजिए ये कंटेनर था गैस का, तो गैस का जो कंटेनर होता है, उस कंटेनर में मान लीजिए दिस इज अ कंटेनर ऑफ गैस, और गैस के इस कंटेनर में बहुत सारे गैस के मॉलिक्यूल्स रहे होंगे और बहुत सारे गैस के मॉलिक्यूल्स रहे होंगे, गैस के पार्टिकल्स रहे होंगे, और वो सारे रैंडम मोशन भी कर रहे होंगे, इधर उधर उधर जा रहे होंगे, इजंट इट? इधर उधर जा रहे होंगे, कोई इधर जा रहा है, कोई उधर जा रहा है, कोई इधर जा रहा है, रैंडम मोशन कर रहे होंगे। तो अगर मैं यहाँ से एक पार्टिकल को बाहर निकालूं और उसकी ट्रेजेक्ट्री को देखूं तो वो कुछ ऐसे जा रहा होगा, फिर यहाँ पे मान लो स्ट्रेट लाइन में मूव कर रहा है, किसी दूसरे गैस पार्टिकल से उसकी टक्कर हुई, टक्कर लगने के बाद ये इधर मूव करना स्टार्ट कर दिया, फिर किसी और की टक्कर हो गई, फिर ये मान लीजिए इधर चलना स्टार्ट कर गया, फिर इधर चलना स्टार्ट कर गया, इधर चलना स्टार्ट कर गया, इधर चलना स्टार्ट कर गया। सो सिमिलरली ये जो फैशन है दैट इज कॉल्ड एन जिगजैग मोशन, यानी कि गैस के जो पार्टिकल्स होते हैं दे ऑल मूव्स इन अ जिगजैग फैशन, ऑल द गैस पार्टिकल्स दे मूव्स इन अ जिगजैग फैशन। Okay, so what we have described here is, suppose this is a gas particle, it is moving. Okay, there were thousands or millions of the gas particle in this gas container. All of them were moving randomly, they were doing random motion, but while doing random motion they must be colliding with each other. If the particle is moving in straight line, this is also moving straight line. If they collide each other, then it will move in different direction, so similarly, if I'll take out just one, or if I'll just try to see the motion of only one particle, then what we can see is this particle is moving in a straight line and some other particle came from this direction and they both collide with each other. So this first particle will change its direction. Earlier it was going in this straight path, now it has changed its direction. Then again on collision it can change its direction, in any direction it can move after collision. That depends upon the factors of collision or the direction or the velocities of both the particles. So in same fashion, all the gas particles, they might be moving, colliding, transfer of momentum or transfer of energy can take place. All these physical contexts might be going on in each and every collision, whatever you have studied in your 11th standard in the topic under collision. Okay, so basically on these in this type of concept or in this kind of motion, basically we define three types of speed. The first one is mean speed, second one is root mean square speed, or that is also called as RMS speed, and the third one is called as most probable speed. So let's have a look into it. What are they actually? So the first one is mean speed, or mean speed is also called as V average, or it can be represented by this, putting the V signs, putting these two signs on the either side of the V. So this sign also means mean speed, the V average is also mean speed, and so basically if you have to find mean of anything, then what you will do, you will add all of them and divide by their total number. Similarly, if I say that Sachin Tendulkar has scored 60 runs, Virat Kohli has scored 50 runs, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni has scored what you can say is 10 runs. So if I'll ask you that what is their average, what is the average, that on an average each player has scored what? So what will be the mean? So what you will do is you will add all these things, runs scored by Sachin, by Virat Kohli and by MSD, and you will divide it all by 3 as total number of player. So how much it will come? it comes out to be 120 by 3, that means 40 runs each. So by this you have find out the mean of these three cricketers, or mean of these three scores scored by them. Similarly, if we have to find mean speed, then what we will do is we will take some few numbers of particle. For example, if we are taking n number of particles, this capital N is n number of particle. If we are taking this capital N as number of particles, then what we will do, we will add all the speeds possessed by those particles. For example, first particle is possessing speed v1, second particle is possessing v2, third particle is possessing v3, v4, v5, v6, v7, v8, v9, and so on till vn, as there are n number of particles. Okay, so what we'll do is we will add all the speeds possessed by those individual particles, and that will be divided by their total number, that means capital N. So by this method we will find the mean speed or average speed. I hope it is very much clear to you. Okay, and if you are still having confusion, then I'll suggest you please rewind the video and again go 3, 4, 5 minutes back and then again watch it. Okay, so it will be clear, definitely it will be clear. And don't put it as a burden on your mind, just take it easy. Definitely physics, some maximum people thinks that physics is a difficult subject, how to cover it up, but in my opinion physics is the most easiest subject. Even if you are having PCM or PCB, the physics is very much easy subjects. It's even easier than your any language. It's just simply, you can say, the few concepts, and it just depends on your understanding, how clear you do understand and how clear your teacher is teaching. So just trust on us, we are doing our best and we will be doing our best in future also. All the videos on all the topics will be coming. Okay, so just don't take it burden on your mind. Keep watching the video, keep watching till the end, and just keep doing the question practice regularly. Okay, so I think this mean speed is very much clear to you. Now we are moving on to the second type of speed, that is called as root mean square speed. Root mean square speed, or you can say the VRMS. Root mean square speed is also called as VRMS. Actually, what we are reading it as root mean square, but we have to, if we are reading it as RMS, but we have to perform SMR. How? What we'll do is, if I'll reverse this RMS, I'll study as SMR. That means first of all we have to square all speeds. So for example, there was V1 square plus V2 square plus V3 square plus so on till Vn square, isn't it? We will square. Then we have to find mean of them is total addition of the total addition of all the velocities. But keep it in mind that we are not adding them simply, we are first squaring them. Okay, it is SMR. Okay, so on first we have squared them all. Okay, this is V1 square, V2 square, V3 square, and so on till Vn square. Now we have to find the mean. Okay, now we will find mean means we will add them all divided by their total number, and keep it in mind that this is not n square. Okay, this is not n square. We are not squaring the total number of particles, we are just squaring their speeds, corresponding speeds with to each particles, and then we are finding the mean, and in finding mean we will just simply divide it by n. Then we have to take root. Root means we will take square root of it. So this is our VRMS, the expression which is written over here. First we have squared them all, then we have find the mean, and then we have squared them all. So actually it is VRMS, that means root mean square, but we are actually on performing the function, we are performing in opposite direction, square, mean, and root. Okay, so just keep it in mind that we have to read it in the opposite direction. That will give you an idea that how we have find out, or how we have found this formula. Okay, now the third option is most probable speed, or VMP. This most probable speed is also represented by VMP. Now, how you're finding VMP? Okay, just let me tell you an example. It's very easy. Suppose we are having a gas container. We are having a gas container. Okay, we are having a gas container, and in this gas container we are having 200 molecules. We are having 200 molecules. Now what we are doing is, what our job to do is, we have to find the speed of each and every molecule. Okay, so we have to find, what we are doing, we have to find the speed of each and every molecule. But when we started finding out the speed of molecules, so what we found, for example, you have to suppose everything, we are just letting, okay, this is not an practically I'm giving you something, or practically I'm telling you have to, this is an assumption to make you understand that how we are finding the most probable speed. Okay, so suppose that from these 200 molecules, 30 molecules out of this 200, 30 of them were possessing speed of you can say 110 meter per second. Okay, in these 200 molecules, when we were calculating in them, in these 200 molecules, 30 molecules were there which were possessing a speed of 110 meter per second. Then there were 100 molecules which were possessing speed of 150 meter per second. Okay, and again there were 50 molecules which were possessing speed of 170 meter per second, and there were 20 molecules which were possessing speed of 200 meter per second. Okay, so these were the different speed possessed by different number of particles. So in these 200 particles, 30 were possessing speed of 110, 100 were possessing speed of 150 meter per second, 50 of them were possessing speed of 170 meter per second, and 20 of them were possessing speed of 200 meter per second. That means the maximum number of molecules, here you can see the maximum number of molecules, that means 100 number of molecules were possessing a speed of 150 meter per second. That means maximum molecules from these 200 molecules, the maximum of them or majority of them were possessing a speed of 150 meter per second. That means this speed is possessed by most of the molecules or majority of the molecule. So that speed is called as most probable speed. Similar example I've taken over here, that there was some container, and out in this container, when we try to find out the speed of the particles, then 40 particles were possessing 100 meter per second, 60 of them were having the speed of 80 meter per second, and 400 of them, see this is the maximum number. Okay, 400 of them were having the speed of 120 meter per second, 100 of them were having the speed of 150 meter per second, and 200 of them were possessing the speed of 130 meter per second. That means majority of them or maximum number of them, maximum of them or majority of them were having the speed of 120 meter per second. That means this 120 meter per second is called as your most probable speed. That means VMP. Okay, here I've written also that the speed corresponding to maximum number of gas molecules is called as most probable speed. I think now it will be, or it is very much clear to all of you. Okay, so we are moving on to the next topic. Just try to keep these things in your mind. I'm not asking you to cram anything, or I'm not asking you to cram this table. So just keep the concept in your mind. It will be very easy for you. Okay, so we are moving on to the next topic. Now the next thing we have to talk about the speed distribution. Okay, so here what we are doing is, here we have to just draw a graph between number of molecules and speed possessed by them. Okay, number of molecules and speed possessed by them. And then this, how we are going to do it, actually in that container. So just let me explain you a bit. For example, in this container, okay, in this container we were having okay, just take the last example. In last example what we did, if we will take out the last page, and if I'll slide it just above to make you understand, this one is our last page, and on last page what we have studied, So for example, there were a container and there were 200 of particles were there, 200 molecules were there. Okay, so what we have studied, 30 of them were possessing 30, so let it be around here 30. So 30 of them were possessing speed of 110. Okay, 100 of them were possessing speed 150. Okay, just 30 of them were possessing speed of 110, and 100 of them, 100, okay, 100 of them were possessing speed of 150. So just think it as 150. 50 of them were 170, that means let it be 50. 50 of them were possessing speed 170, and 20 of them were possessing speed 200. Okay, 200. So if you will try to draw a graph, it will be like this, isn't it? So it will be like this if you will try to draw a graph. So here what we have taken, here we have taken number of particles, here we have taken number of particles, and here we have taken speed or velocity. Here we have taken speed. So similarly, if I'll come on to the current page now, we have drawn this graph based on this concept, and in this graph you can see the highest point or the maximum number of molecule. See this one in this graph, this is the highest point, this is the highest point, or this is the speed corresponding to maximum particles, isn't it? So this is the speed corresponding to maximum number of particles, and that is called as most probable speed. So here 100 particles, 100 of them were possessing speed 150. So this 150 was our most probable speed. Okay, now I hope that you have got the graph, that how we have plotted the graph. Okay, so now practically it was found practically that these RMS, this average or you can say the mean speed or the most probable speed, they were possessing different types of you can say the expressions. Okay, these expression you have to keep it in your mind. Okay, this is direct star for you, this is star, this box is star for you, that means you have to keep it in your mind. Okay, so what we have done, actually there's a formula or corresponding to what you can say the maximum number of molecules corresponding to which there's a formula, Fv is equal to 4 pi under root m by 2 pi kt into v square e to the power minus mv square by 2 kt. Okay, so this formula, this expression, I've just written it as for your convenience or for your extra knowledge, but you don't have to learn it. Okay, don't look at this formula, this is a very ugly formula, isn't it? So I think you would not be feeling happy, or you would not be feeling ease to memorize it or to cram it. Okay, so just leave it out. We have to just focus on these three formulas where we have to learn the expression for root mean square, or you can say the mean velocity or average speed, or the most probable speed. Okay, all these three formulas are very same. Okay, so what we are doing is we are taking square root, or in under root the coefficient for RMS is 3. See, for example, 3 RT by capital M. Okay, this capital M is the molar mass, T here is temperature, and R here is the gas constant. So this RT by capital M is same in all. So this coefficient, only this coefficient is varying. So here pi will also come, 8 by pi. Okay, so for RMS velocity this coefficient is 3, for average velocity this coefficient is 8 by pi, and for most probable speed this is 2. Okay, so what I have done is I have made a trick that is called as RAM. RAM. Okay, so this is the trick, RAM. Okay, Lord Rama by his name. you can keep this thing in your mind. So what we have done here is, if you will think of RAM, then R for root mean square, A for average, and M for mean, and this is the order of their values. See, R is the biggest one as the coefficient is larger. Coefficient is 3. Okay. But for average velocity, coefficient is 8 by pi, and 8 by pi means 8 by 3.4, so it will be around 2 point something, or you can say greater than 2. And here in most probable it is just 2. So the RMS will be having maximum value, then followed by average, and the least value will be possessed by most probable speed. Okay, so by this RAM, you can memorize that root mean square is the highest one, then average, and then mean velocity. So now in the same formula with the same coefficient, you can replace this RT by capital M by KT by small m. That means small m here is mass of one molecule. See, small m here is mass of one molecule, and capital M here is mass of one mole, that is molar mass. Okay, so how we have actually these formulas, these were found out, you can say practically we find all these formulas, but how did we derive this one? Okay, KT by small m, how we have replaced this RT by capital M by KT by small m. Okay, rest this square root is same and these coefficients are same, isn't it? So what we have done is, you know it very well that Boltzmann constant, this K is Boltzmann constant, and that is R by Na. That means your gas constant divided by your Avogadro number. This we have discussed in your first lecture of this kinetic theory of the gases. Okay, so R was K, yani ki Boltzmann constant into Na. Okay, R has to be Boltzmann constant into Na. Similarly, what you can find is molar mass will be mass of one molecule into Na. Okay, mass of one molecule into Na. So this is a capital M. So if we will divide both of them, R by M will be K into Na divided by small m into Na. So if we'll cut Na by Na, so what will come here is R by M is equal to K by M. So this R by M is K by M. So in these formulas, this capital R by capital M is replaced by Boltzmann constant by small m. Okay, so this R by M we can replace by K by M from here, you can see. Okay, so we will be having these two kinds of the formula. If we are talking about just one molecule of the gas, then you have to apply this one, because here is the mass is for one molecule. And if we are talking 1 mole of gas, then this formula you have to apply, as there we have taken mass of 1 mole. So this is the difference. And here I have told you already that this RAM, there's a trick. Here the trick is RAM, RAM. That means your RMS velocity, then your average velocity, and then your most probable speed. Okay, so this is their order. This RMS is the having the highest value, and your most probable speed will be having the least value. Okay, so I think this graph and all these things are very much clear to all of you. And now move on to the next topic. So now the third very important concept about this speed distribution curve is that the area is the function of you can say the total number of molecules into their speed, and that will always be constant. Okay, as this area represents the area under the speed distribution curve, represents the total number of molecules. And as you know that for a certain example, for a particular container, if we will not add gas from outside, or if we will not remove gas from the container, so the total number of molecules are going to be constant. Okay, and if total number of molecules are constant, that means area has to be constant. Okay, area has to be constant. Okay, that means Fv dot dv, if we will integrate it, or the area if we will try to find out, that will be a unit. Okay, for one molecule, and for n number of molecules, if we will find out the area, or if we will integrate it, then it should be equal to n, because area represents number of molecules. Here number of molecule is 1, and here number of molecule is capital N. So the area will be constant as number of molecule is fixed. Okay, now the next concept is, if temperature is increased, then width of the curve decreases and its height decreases, because area remains constant. Definitely. For example, if what we are doing is, okay, just let me explain you with an example. Okay, this will be very much clear to you. Okay, just let me explain these two concepts. Actually, there are two types of questions that can be asked you in the exam on the basis of this SP distribution curve. What they will do is they will draw different type of graphs, and they will ask you that these graphs are related to a certain temperature of a fixed gas. So for example, in this case, in this graph, the gas is fixed. The gas is fixed, or the gas is fixed. That means if we are increasing or decreasing the temperature, then we have drawn different types of graphs. Okay. So, and you have also studied that the highest point in the graph, this highest point in the graph is corresponding to most probable speed. Is corresponding to what? Most probable speed for those gas molecules at that temperature. So if this graph is for T1, this is for T2, this is for T3, and if we have to tell that the order of the temperature, whether temperature is increasing or temperature is decreasing, that we have to find out. Okay, that we supposed to find. Okay, so just let it be this corresponding to temperature 3, this is most probable speed for third, this is most probable speed for second, and this highest point for T1, this is most probable speed for first. Okay, and you know the formula for most probable speed, VMP. What is the formula for most probable speed? We have just studied. Under root 2RT by capital M. That means most probable speed is directly proportional to root T. Okay, so most probable speed is directly proportional to root T. That means if temperature is higher, then most probable speed will be higher. Okay, so in these three, we are finding that this most probable speed in the temperature 1, corresponding to temperature 1, this most probable speed is the highest one. On velocity curve we are watching, on the velocity curve we are seeing this most probable speed is the highest one. Okay, so for highest most probable speed, temperature is highest as they are directly proportional. That means T1 will be the highest, and this will follow the order. T3 is having the most probable speed least value, so corresponding to this, T3 will be the least one. So this will be the order. I hope that it is very much clear to all of you, and if it is not clear, then please take the video 5 minutes back and try to see it again. So this kind of the question can be asked. Now, if we are moving forward in the graph, or if we are increasing the most probable value, then as you know that we have to have the constant area should be constant as number of molecules should be constant. So for first graph you can see that this was the area. Sorry, for temperature 3. For graph of temperature 3, this was the area. Now in third one, if the graph is extending, that means the area is constant. So if the area is increasing lengthwise, if the graph is increasing lengthwise, then its height should be decreased to keep the area constant. So the area corresponding to T1 should be equal to area corresponding to third one. Okay, so area first should be equal to area in temperature, this T3 case. So both the areas should be equal as the number of molecules is equal, and as the area represents the number of molecules which is constant, so area should be constant. Whatever the shape may be, it may be less in height, but it should be more in length. And if it is more in height, it should be less in length. So by this concept, the area has to be constant as the number of molecules are fixed over there. Okay. So now one more type of question can be framed over it. They will give you two graphs. And they will say that temperature is constant here. Here temperature is constant. That means there is no change in temperature. But the gases are different. That means corresponding to different gases, you have to tell that if this is upper one is A, this upper one is A, and this lower graph is B, then you have to tell that these graphs are for oxygen or hydrogen. Then you have to tell that which one is for oxygen and which one is for hydrogen. Okay, so now how we'll do it? So first of all, you just tell me what is the molar mass of hydrogen, that is 2, and what is the molar mass of oxygen, O2 molecule. So for O2 molecule, the mass is 32. Okay, And so for example, just consider it as most probable speed for A, and this is most probable speed for B. And you can clearly see that most probable speed VMP for B, most probable speed for case B is more than most probable speed for A. Okay, this you can see, this most probable speed in case B is having more value. Now again, if you will write the formula for most probable speed as we have written over here, most probable speed, this R is constant, T constant, 2 is also constant. So most probable speed is inversely proportional to root M. That means most probable speed is inversely proportional to the square root of mass. That means if mass is higher, then most probable speed should be less. So in hydrogen and oxygen, the lesser one or the lesser value, this, as you can see, the most probable speed corresponding to case A is less. So the lesser most probable speed should have higher mass as they are inversely proportional. So this graph A will be for higher mass, that means for O2, and this B graph will be for H2 as it's having lower mass. Okay, so this B will be corresponding to this B will be corresponding to hydrogen, and this A will be corresponding to what? Your oxygen gas. Okay, so only these two types of question can be asked on speed distribution curve. So that's it in this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks a lot, and please do subscribe our channel, like the video, and please do share, because if you will share and like the video, then only it will be trending, and then only our efforts will be worth. And one more information I would like to tell you, that you can join our Telegram channel also, where we are providing the wholesome notes of these videos, that is absolutely free of cost, to help you all to ace your preparation. So thank you all.